Welcome back. So this one is going to be Unit 1 Principles of Computer Science again, and this time is going to be built-in functions. I'm using Python 3 point whatever I have because that's probably the one that most people are going to use because Python is such an easy and straightforward language to learn in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not saying that nothing else is easy to learn. I'm just saying this is what I'm going to go with. Built-in functions. A built-in function is a pre-made function that is already available in a programming language. So you don't have to go and create anything from scratch. You can use what's already there to solve the problem that you want to solve. You can use it without needing to create it. Yes. These functions perform common tasks like printing text, doing math, or manipulating data. So the one that printing text in Python is just print. Doing math, I think there's a math module that you have to import. So it's called import math at the very top. And for data, I know that it has at this level, level 3 or A level, reinventing the wheel is most likely not necessary. So there's no need for you to go and reinvent the wheel. Simply use what you have to the best of your ability. Built-in functions, the categories, there are three main categories. We have arithmetic functions, string handling functions, and general functions. I'll go through these in detail, so don't worry. Arithmetic functions, some examples are random, range, round, and truncate. I'll go through these as well, so don't worry. String handling, we have concatenate, length, position, and string conversion. These are just examples of string handling functions. There are more. These are not just the only ones that are available. These are just the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, probably the most important ones. We have general functions as well. We have input, open, print, and range. I think that should probably be, so the random function, this is an arithmetic function again. So this simply means a math function, a mathematics function. The purpose of the random function in programming language is to generate a number or value that appears to be chosen by chance. So there's no such thing as a random in computer science. It's pseudo-random. So don't worry too much about that. It says random, work with random, it's fine. It helps to create unpredictable results, which is useful for various processes like games, simulations, security, and testing. So if you think about it, someone can throw a dice, you can randomize a number and it will say 1 to 6 and it will just choose a random number. And here's a random example in Python. I have this code in the folder as well. You can also copy it from here. It won't be in the description because it's going to take me forever to copy and paste it, but look at the code when I upload it onto the website or simply watch the video. Next, we have the range function. The range function in programming is a shortcut for creating a sequence of numbers. Instead of typing out a long list of numbers, you can use a range to generate them automatically. So for example, in Python, you say range 5, print range 5, and it will just print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason it doesn't go up to actual 5 is that 0 is a value. In some languages, 0 index is the first index, or the first index is 0. Here's a range example again. Please go ahead and look at the code or look at the PowerPoint here I'm going through. It's all there. It's all free. Feel free to make use of it. Feel free to copy this into, I don't know, your IDE of choice or into the Python environment and test it. It works fine. Next, we have the round function. And just like in math, the round function in programming language is used to make a number simpler by adjusting it to the nearest whole number. So if I have pi as 3.14159, I don't want all of that. I just want 3.14. So I round pi to 2 decimal places and I get 3.14, and that's it. This is the round example as well. You can copy this code and test it if you want to. Next, we have the truncation. So truncation in programming means cutting off the decimal part of a number, leaving only the whole number part. It does not round the number. It simply removes everything after the decimal point. So for example, if I wanted to truncate 5.99, if you rounded this to a whole number, this would obviously go to 6, but when I truncate it, I get rid of the 0.99 and it just becomes 5. So sorry about my circling. I'm using a mouse and it's not very accurate. If I truncate minus 3.75, it just becomes minus 3. I scrap the 0.75. So truncation is useful when you want the integer part of a number without the rounding. So if you want to check that the integer part of a number is what it's supposed to be, you can just truncate it and use the number that you get. Here's the example for truncating as well. The code is going to be there. Next, we have string handling functions. These can only be used for strings. You can force some other data types to be strings and then use them, but generally speaking, these are only for strings. So concatenation, this allows you to join strings together. Simply, for example, I can have runs as one word, then tech as one word, then hub as one word. Then I can concatenate those, and it simply means to join them. That's it. So here's an example in Python 3. Feel free to copy this and use it. Length is another one. This is used to check how many characters there are in a string. Spaces and, well, space and punctuation are counted as well. So here's an example in Python. So I have RonsTechHub. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, because a blank space is still counted as well. So if you copy this and paste this into your environment and run it, it will say 12, but obviously remember the first location is a 0. That's why it might say 12. Next, we have the position. This will tell you the location of a character in a string. In Python, here we go again. count always starts from 0. It will always show one less than the actual size. So this is called a 0 index. So this is why I mentioned here, even though I think I said 13 before, it's going to only show 12 because the 0 index is R. We still count a 0 index. So this is how you do string position. Again, Python 3, copy it, paste it in, and you will see it working. Next, we have string conversion. Sometimes you might need to convert a string to an integer or float, or vice versa. This is a really good way to do it. So sometimes a programming language won't allow you to print a string with an integer and a float at the same time. You might have to convert stuff to strings first and then do it. So this is a good way to do it. So here's an example. I turned age 51 was a integer initially in Python. Then I forced it to be a string by simply saying str and age. That's how you do it. Copy and paste it. It will work. This is how we do a float to a string. Same process as before. Str, then the variable name that it was originally. Then this is how we do a string to an integer. So age is equal to 120, but the quotes around 120 make it a string. And to force it to be an int, I simply put the word int in front of the variable name that had age before. String to float, I didn't know I had that one. So same thing again, put float in front of the variable name. Next, we have general functions. These are some of the most popular function used. This is for Python 3, obviously. We have input, open, print already shown, and range was already shown as well. So when we do input, this is one method which can be used to get input from a user using the keyboard. So this is an example, and the person will be able to type their name, then press enter, then type their age, then press enter. This is one method to do it. There are other methods, but this is probably the most popular one. Next, we have the open function used to open files. Typically, these will be text files and CSV files in Python. That's typically what most students at this level tend to work with. You can open other things as well, image files, audio files, and they will work depending on what you're trying to do. But typically speaking, for you guys, it's going to be text files, CSV files. Open can also create a file if it doesn't exist in a directory. So what I would say is every single piece of code I'm showing, if I were you, I would copy it and test it on my system just to see what happens. And what would happen for this file is that because this file is not on your system, it would actually create the file. Even though I'm trying to open it, it's basically saying, okay, let me go look for this file and try to open it. But because it's not there, let me just create it and then open it. That's what it does. The next thing that we'll be looking at is validating data. Stay tuned.